In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to mine a recently launched coin called Waglayla. So this is a coin that at first glance kind of looks like it's a fork of kind of like the K-heavy hash coins. It is based on Rust, so somewhat using like Rusty Caspa as a baseline. However, it is using a rather unique algorithm. So if we hop on over to their website and head over to resources, we can see their WAG paper. And if you scroll down to the mining section, you'll see some information about the algorithm. And it's a little bit unique. They're calling it Walla hash. And this has been implemented in SRB Miner. And so today we're going to walk through how to solo mine this with your GPUs. This is a CPU and GPU mining coin. Today we're going to be using some AMD GPUs. I have tested this on 3070s as well as some 6700s, some various, even the RTX A400. This should work. SRB Miner has really good support for most GPUs. So you should be able to mine this relatively easy. And because it's a new blockchain, there are a couple caveats to deal with here. The first being that there is no GUI wallet yet, and there is also no web wallet. So this means we need to run a CLI wallet, and they actually make this kind of easy. You can either connect to a pre-existing central node server, or you can run your own node server. I'm always an advocate for running your own node server. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop on over to their GitHub and go to the releases section for Waglayla D Rusty. And they provide pre-compiled binaries for Windows and Linux. I've already downloaded the Windows binaries. Once you download the Windows zip file, you can go ahead and extract it. You're going to end up with these two files. Now, the one that ends in D, this is going to be the node daemon that if you want to run sync, use your own local node, you can do that. You don't have to, though. You can leverage their hosted node or somebody else's node. And that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to just double click the CLI. And we're going to specify the server. So we're going to do server space. And we're going to be using the Waglayla WRPC server. So we're just going to enter that. That's going to set the server to it. Then we're going to set the network to mainnet. So just do network space mainnet. And then we want to do a wallet create. If you already have an existing wallet, it's going to tell you it's going to override it, which is perfectly fine. We're going to hit yes. It's going to ask us what we want the account name to be. I'm just going to call this mining. It's going to ask us if we want a phishing hint. I do not. It's going to ask us to specify an encryption password and to confirm it. And then it's going to ask us if we want a mnemonic passphrase. And then once you get past that, it's going to create your wallet and it's going to give you your wallet address. And it's going to say not connected here. So we want to type connect. This will actually connect you to the network. And now we can see that we've got no coins in the wallet yet. But if we hit details, we can see that we have our wallet address here. So this is the address that we want to use for mining. Now, before we set up the miner, we need to set up our node. And as is the case with the other solo mining videos I've done, I went ahead and I created a Docker container for both the node and also the Stratum bridge. So this will be a super easy setup. I already have a server that we're going to be running this on. So if we hop on over, you can see I'm already running Dozzle on it. So we'll be able to use this web dashboard. The important thing with the server is make sure you're already running Docker. If you're not, you can just do a sudo apt install docker.io. And we've already got that installed here. So two simple commands. The first one is going to be for the node. And if you want to run Dozzle to have a web UI for monitoring all the logs, I have a video on that. You can check that out for setting that up. But for the purposes of just running the Waglayla node, we're going to do sudo docker run it detached, network of host, restart always. We're going to specify a max log size of 10 megabytes. We're going to name it Waglayla. And then here we need to specify the path. Now, I already have a account called pool, so I'm storing this in home pool /.waglayla. This can be whatever path you want the node blockchain to be stored in. And then you're going to map that to /root /.waglayla. And as always, all of these are hosted as tags under my nodes repository. So it's going to be theretromike /nodes /waglayla. Go ahead and hit enter. That's going to start up that container. If we hop on over to Dozzle, we should see that that is now running and starting to sync. So while that's syncing, and the sync won't take very long because the blockchain is relatively small given how new it is. The next thing we want to do is we want to run the Docker container for the Stratum bridge. So again, we're going to do a docker run it detached, network of host, restart always, max log size of 10 megs. We're going to name it waglaylastratum, and it's going to be in my stratums repository. And if you're running this on the same system as like Caspa nodes, any of my generic heavy hash, Asterix, anything like that, these kind of run on the same type of Stratum bridge, and they all default to the same port. So if you want to override the port, all you have to do is --stratum. And this will look very similar if you've watched any of my other Caspa fork videos. And we can do :, and we can specify a port. This can be any unused port. Just make sure you put a colon in front of it. So this will be 5560. This is what we will connect the Stratum miner to. And then there's also Prometheus port. That also needs to be unique per system or per node instance, the Stratum instance. So for us, we're just going to do 2120 here. Again, any unused port will work fine there. Go ahead and hit enter. Now if we hop on over to the Stratum, it's already synced. So it is starting it up. So now the Stratum is up and running. We can see it's connected to Waglayla. We're listening on port 5560. So this is the port we want to point our miner to. So I'm going to hop on over to HiveOS. We're going to set up a flight sheet real quick. And let's see if we can get it mining a little bit. All right, over in HiveOS, I'm on my test bench farm. And so we're going to, first thing we need to do is head over to the wallet section. Now I've already set this up, but if you haven't, you can hit add wallet. Under the ticker, you can see I've already created a Waglayla. You probably won't see that there unless you've already created it. And so you can basically type it out and hit the create, and it'll create a new entry for you. You'll put in your wallet address and name it whatever you want. And then we're going to create a flight sheet, and this is going to use SRB miner. So I've already created a flight sheet that we're going to be using, but I'm just going to make a copy of this one. So we'll go ahead and duplicate that. We're going to do Waglayla as the coin. We're going to specify our wallet, which I have as just local here. And then the configure in miner for the pool. We want to specify SRB miner. And in the hash algorithm, you want to use Walla hash. We're going to use our wallet, our worker name. And this is where we want to specify the IP address of the server that we're running the node on. And then whatever port we told the Stratum to listen on. So for me, it's going to be on 192.168.1.111, listening on port 5560. Go ahead and hit apply here. And we have CPUs in these, so we're going to mine Varus on the CPU at the same time. And I'm just going to name this Waglayla demo. Go ahead and hit update. And we're going to hop on over to Tower 1. Now this has two X080s, the Sapphires, which are basically the RX 6700 non-XTs, and 10 gigs of RAM. So these are what we're going to mine on. We're going to go flight sheet, and we're going to use that demo flight sheet. All right, we can see our miners connected, and this particular stratum does tell us what the estimated network hash rate is. So we can see it's about 1.57 terahash a second. If we hop on over to our miner, to give this a refresh real quick, we can see that we are, it looks like it might still be ramping up here. We should be settling in around 380 per card. Now, one thing you'll notice with this is you won't really be seeing any accepted shares or stills or invalids. You will just basically see the block when it gets found. And so we're going to let this run until it finds a block just to confirm everything's working. But if you take a look at another system that I've been running, you can kind of see that it shows, basically shows a hash rate of 0. Accepted, still, invalid is 0. But we are finding blocks on those. So just something to keep an eye out. Like these right now with the Stratum code, you might not be seeing any hash rates or actual accepted shares coming in, but it will be finding blocks. You can actually see with these ones, these were up for only less than 3 hours. We found 5 blocks on that system, 7 blocks on this system, and also a block on this system as well. So we're just going to let this other one run for a bit, and hopefully within the next hour or so, we should get a block. We'll confirm that everything's working, and we will take a look at what the wallet looks like after it has some blocks hitting it. It's been about 30 minutes, and we've hit 3 blocks so far. In fact, 1 is still pending. So if we look at our wallet now, we can see we've got 1,000 confirmed, which is what this first number is. And if you see a number in parentheses, that's your pending amount. So there's currently 500 pending. That is the block reward for the block that just got found. And so in like about a minute, this will move over from being pending to being in the confirmed balance. So everything's working good. You can see that as we expected, the average hash rate and the accepted shares are remaining 0, but we are finding blocks. And if we scroll up here a little bit, we can see that it did submit the block and the block was accepted, which is obviously evident by the funds hitting our wallet as well. You can see that one that was 500 pending has confirmed, and so now we've got 1,500 confirmed balance in this wallet. So at this point, we're just going to let this kind of go away, but that's all there is to getting it set up. It really is very similar to like running the Caspa nodes or any of those Caspa forks. You basically just have the node Docker that you're going to run, the node Stratum bridge that you're going to run, and then once a blockchain synced up, you're just going to connect your miner to the Stratum bridge, and then those rewards are going to hit the wallet that is configured in the miner.